Welcome back. This is episode 11. After Suah's desperate cry for help and Dongjae's heroic moment, the cheer squad is rallying together like never before. Will their heartfelt support be enough to bring Suah back into the fold? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. Now, let's dive into the drama. The cheerleading club showers Suah with heartwarming videos, encouraging her to come back and atone for her mistakes. Touched by their kindness, Suah tears up and takes time to reflect on her next move. Meanwhile, the team worries if Suah has even seen their messages, or if she's ignoring them entirely. Without her, they lack a flyer, jeopardizing their chances at regionals. At the hospital, Director Lee and Suah's mom arrive to send her abroad. Her mother clings to the delusion that nothing happened and insists that a fresh start will fix everything. But this time, Suah pushes back. Acknowledging her mistakes, she decides to return to Sevet High and face the consequences. Furious, her mother warns that she'll regret it, but Suah stands firm. She's done living by someone else's plan and vows to succeed through her own abilities. Back at school, Yandu greets Suah with a stern but hopeful expression. Leading her into the practice room, Suah hesitates, terrified, as the team falls silent. Tentatively, she apologizes to the group for her actions and expresses gratitude for their support. She particularly apologizes to Yeol, Dongha, and Yandu, knowing sorry isn't enough. Yandu acknowledges that forgiveness will take time and declares that, as captain, Suah's punishment will be cleaning the practice room for a month. The lighthearted consequence breaks the ice, and the team erupts in laughter, teasing Suah for scaring them. With that, the team is whole again, ready to prepare for regionals. Suah faces additional school punishment in the form of volunteer work, which she accepts without complaint. Yandu playfully thumps her on the forehead, promising many more thumps before she feels they're even. That night, as Suah sleeps peacefully, her roommates smile, relieved to see her truly at ease for the first time. During study hall, Yandu tries to grab Yeol's attention, but he ignores her. Frustrated, she leaves a note on his forehead, complaining about his unfulfilled promise to take her to a movie. Yandu later seeks Ha Jun's advice about her friend, who is pursuing a guy. Ha Jun shyly admits that he'd find such attention endearing, leaving Yandu flustered. Yeol enlists Ha Jun's help for a secret project, eventually revealing his relationship with Yandu. Though Ha Jun struggles to hide his feelings, he wishes them well. However, Yeol senses something is off as Ha Jun retreats in discomfort. Later, Yeol surprises Yandu in the club room with a makeshift movie date, complete with snacks and a cozy setup. The two snuggle up, enjoying their time together. Downstairs, Ha Jun sits alone, conflicted. As he contemplates deleting a photo of himself and Yandu, he ultimately decides to keep it, holding on to the bittersweet memory. As the boys pack to leave for break, Ha Jun stays behind, claiming his family's chauffeur will handle it. Meanwhile, Dongjae suggests grabbing burgers with Yandu on their way home, sparking Yeol's jealousy. He reluctantly tags along, sulking as Dongjae enjoys his newfound comfort with physical affection. During their meal, Yeol pointedly asks Yandu if she plans to keep hanging out with Dongjae. Dongjae, catching on, offers to give them space, but cheekily invites himself to dinner at Yandu's house later. Yeol's protests escalate when Yandu laughs it off. That evening, Ha Jun, still at school, stares at his report card, likely disappointed by his grades. He recalls his father's harsh words about wasting time on friends and cheerleading. When a call from home comes, Ha Jun ignores it, stewing in his frustrations. Yeol, back to his playful boyfriend ways, shields Yandu from the rain with an umbrella as the trio heads home. Dongjae, ever helpful, does the same on her other side. Yandu tells Dongjae he can't join her for dinner, and Yeol grumbles again about his lack of alone time with Yandu. From another direction, Yandu's mom and Yeol's dad also walk home together. Mom invites Dad over to take food for Yeol, and they discuss plans to tell their kids about their relationship. Once Dongjae is dropped off, Yeol beams, finally alone with Yandu. He grabs her hand, delighted, but their joy is short-lived. Just steps from Yandu's house, they run into their parents, also holding hands. The awkward realization leaves everyone stunned, and the adults quickly separate to talk to their respective children. At home, Yandu panics, grilling her mom about dating Yeol's dad. Though Mom tries to downplay it, Yandu saw them holding hands and forced the truth out of her. Meanwhile, Yeol angrily confronts his father. When Dad says he values Yeol's opinion, Yeol challenges him, asking if he would break up with Mom if Yeol objected. Both Yandu and Yeol are deeply unsettled. Yandu envisions a future where they're step-siblings, unable to act on their feelings, and they decide to return to school early without telling their parents. At school, Ha Jun notices Yeol's return and learns about their parents' relationship. Yeol confesses that the thought of losing Yandu as a romantic partner hurts deeply, confirming his feelings for her. Ha Jun comforts Yeol, but looks heartbroken himself. Later, Yandu shares her friend's problem with Ha Jun, unaware he already knows. He advises her to follow her heart, though he struggles to heed his own advice. After she thanks him and leaves, he berates himself for his unspoken feelings. Determined to take control, Yandu and Yeol devise a plan. They each call their respective parents for a meeting, putting them on edge. But the parents are taken aback when Yeol arrives to talk to Mom, flowers in hand, while Yandu seeks out Dad. Yeol is adorably anxious when he meets Yandu's mom, but wastes no time, introducing himself as her daughter's boyfriend. Over at his meeting with Yeol's dad, Yandu does the same, revealing not only their relationship but also how Yeol ended up hospitalized, saving her from injury. This revelation surprises Dad, who has always seen Yeol as selfish. Yandu counters by explaining how thoughtful Yeol truly is, sharing that he's helped her become less self-centered. Her honesty makes an impression. Meanwhile, Yeol wins Mom over with his earnestness. When she asks why he likes Yandu, he says it started because she was fun, but now her belief in him has inspired him to believe in others. Touched, Mom declares Yeol a good boyfriend, her smile showing her approval. Back at school, Yandu and Yeol share their progress. Yeol feels confident that their parents will reconsider marriage, but Yandu seems conflicted, guilty about potentially depriving her mom of happiness. Their parents are equally torn, grappling with whether they should give each other up for their children's sake. Yeol's dad expresses a quiet jealousy toward Yandu for reaching his son in ways he couldn't, while Yandu's mom credits her knack for relationships to her daughter. Despite their reflections, neither has a solution. Meanwhile, trouble brews elsewhere. Ha Jun's father meets with the chairman of the education office, who reassures him about Sevet High's investigation, but warns that the cheerleading club is a focal point. Ha Jun's father grows concerned about a development fund, but receives a vague suggestion to consider pulling his son out of cheerleading. Ha Jun's father later confronts him at school, furious over his slipping grades. Despite Ha Jun's polite request to remain on the team until after regionals, his father lashes out violently, leaving him battered and bruised. Yeol, sensing something's wrong when Ha Jun misses cheerleading practice, decides he can no longer stand by. He rushes to Ha Jun's home but doesn't find him. Back at school, Yandu spots Ha Jun alone, his injuries painfully evident. When Yandu reaches for him, Ha Jun pulls away, embarrassed and angry. She tries to persuade him to seek treatment, but his pride and shame get in the way. Yandu finally agrees to back off if he gets help, though her parting words reveal her deep concern. Her sincerity strikes a chord, and Ha Jun suddenly pulls her into a tearful back hug. "Don't go," he pleads softly, his voice breaking. "Stay with me for a little bit. This is too painful." Moved by his vulnerability, Yandu takes Ha Jun to the infirmary. Unable to find medicine, she sits with him, offering to call Yeol. But Ha Jun, unwilling for his friend to see him in this state, refuses. Yeol, however, finds them anyway. Without hesitation, he retrieves the medicine. Despite his growing discomfort seeing Yandu and Ha Jun together, Yeol stays composed, even commenting on Yandu's red eyes. Gently, he suggests she rest and sends her off, masking his feelings. Left alone with Ha Jun, Yeol treats him as he's done countless times before. His care softens Ha Jun's guarded demeanor. When Yeol asks if his father's anger stemmed from his report card, Ha Jun doesn't answer directly, but instead apologizes for everything. On her way back to her dorm, Yandu can't help but think about the backpack. She rationalizes it as Ha Jun being emotional after his father's abuse, brushing off any deeper significance. Meanwhile, Yeol sits alone on the stairs, clearly troubled. It becomes apparent that he saw Ha Jun hugging Yandu and pleading with her not to leave. The next time Yeol and Yandu meet, his usual crinkly-eyed smile takes a moment to appear. Despite the tension lingering within him, he manages to mask his feelings with his usual charm. He flirts and offers to tutor her again, teasing that he'll help her ranking improve one more point. But as usual, he playfully demands food as payment. Yandu laughs but doesn't notice the faint flicker of doubt in his eyes. At cheerleading practice, Instructor Nam notices Ha Jun's stiffness and warns him to be extra careful. As a base, any misstep on his part could injure someone else. However, before practice begins, Teacher Im summons Ha Jun to Principal Choi's office. There, Principal Choi informs him that his father is forcing him to quit the team. Worse still, if he refuses, his father has threatened to use his influence with the school board chairman to have both Teacher Yang and Instructor Kim fired. Principal Choi, perceptive as ever, notes to Teacher Im that this abrupt move is likely tied to the upcoming inspection. Hajun returns to practice, but instead of joining his friends, he quietly watches from the sidelines. His father's harsh words echo in his mind. If he doesn't comply, his father will ensure the entire cheerleading team is dissolved. To protect his friends' dreams and safeguard his teachers' jobs, Ha Jun decides to quit. Instructor Nam confronts him about his sudden decision, especially with regionals so close. Ha Jun brushes it off, claiming he simply doesn't want to do it anymore. The rest of the team is stunned when Instructor Nam announces the news, explaining that they'll need to adjust their positions to account for Ha Jun's departure. Nobody is more upset than Yol. Determined to get answers, he storms off in search of Ha Jun, eventually finding him sitting alone in the gym. Yol confronts his best friend, demanding to know the real reason for his sudden departure. Ha Jun attempts to deflect, claiming he wants to focus on his studies, but Yol isn't fooled. His frustration boils over, and he furiously shouts, accusing Ha Jun of leaving because of Yandu. Taken aback, Ha Jun stares at Yol, unsure how to respond. But Yol doesn't hold back, his voice trembling with anger and hurt as he demands, I'm asking if it's because of Kang Yandu. That's it for today's recap. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button to stay updated on all the latest recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.